Every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Going to the candidates debate. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Monday, June 27th, 2016. It is a spectacular morning in western Montana. Summertime, and I'm not sure if the living is easy, but I know the fish are jumping. Right now, we do have 49 degrees under a clear sky in western Montana. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by AAA. AAA card doesn't just give you roadside assistance, it gives you discounts on local and national brands. Use it a few times and it's paid for itself. Join now and add a second person free. Learn more at AAA.com/Montana. Our top story this morning, the Montana Broadcasters Association, along with the Greater Montana Foundation, hosted the first live gubernatorial debate at Big Sky yesterday. Republican Greg Gianforte began by reminding the audience that he's a businessman and not a, quote, career politician, end quote, that gave statistics on the state of Montana's economy.
Unfortunately and undeniably, today, Montana is 49th in the country in wages and dead last in income for our kids. And they've become our most precious export. As a dad, I want my kids around the table on Sunday afternoon, and I know I share that dream with many of you.
Incumbent Governor Steve Bullock countered with his own stats, saying the state is making progress economically.
More people are working in the state of Montana than ever before in our state's history. 20,000 new jobs created in the last 3.5 years alone. Wages are the 6th fastest growing in the country here in Montana. Our economy, 5th fastest growing, manufacturing growing twice as fast as the national average.
Bullock criticized Gianforte for suing the state over stream access on private land after Gianforte invited Bullock to come fish at an access site near his home in Bozeman.
As Attorney General, one of the first cases I brought got to defend the state of Montana was against out-of-state interests trying to eliminate our stream access laws. As Attorney General, helped pass the first stream access law in 28 years, about the same time that Mr. Gianforte was filing suit against the state. Thanks for the invitation, but the beauty is that's a public right-of-way. I don't need your permission.
On the topic of infrastructure funding, Gianforte shot back by accusing Bullock of flip-flopping.
In 2015, he vetoed the infrastructure bill, only to resurrect it out of his trash can in his governor's office and claim it as his own idea. The exact bill he vetoed in 2015 is the one he's now proposing. And my question for him is, why'd you flip-flop on that one, Governor?
At the close, both men met for a very brief handshake for the cameras. Gianforte's never held public office, while Bullock, an attorney, served as Montana's Attorney General before becoming governor. You can hear the debate in its entirety on our website right now, if you'd like, at newstalkkgvo.com. Speaking of politics, AFL-CIO President Richard Trumka is rallying Montana union members as they convene in Helena for their annual convention. Trumka urged the members Friday to stay vigilant against those seeking to weaken unions and said his federation would work to defeat anti-union office seekers in November's elections. He vowed to help re-elect Governor Steve Bullock and to prevent Montana from becoming a right-to-work state. Trumka said the AFL-CIO plans to spend money in the Montana governor's race and in support of Denise Juneau and her bid for Congress. Bullock's Republican opponent, Greg Gianforte, said the AFL-CIO's endorsement of Bullock and of Hillary Clinton for president, quote, are a slap in the face, end quote, to coal workers, some of whom are union members. Officials say the loss of approximately 200 jobs in northwestern Montana will be a punch in the gut of a community that was recovering from a 2009 closure of an aluminum plant. Montana is still feeling the aftershocks of the closure by Weyerhaeuser of 2 of Montana's lumber mills. Forest products economist Todd Morgan with the Montana Bureau of Business and Economic Research says the job losses will go beyond the 100 Weyerhaeuser employees who were cut.
The extent of that impact goes beyond those 100 jobs because typically in manufacturing, in wood products manufacturing, there's at least one other job for every job that's in the sector. So it kind of has a multiplier effect. It'll really double the impact in terms of the way it'll be felt throughout the economy.
The closures may be good news for competing mills, though. Weyerhaeuser's stated reason for closing was because it could not get enough logs from the forest, a problem impacting all Montana mills.
Looking forward here in Montana, I would expect that with the closure of the 2 mills, the sawmill and the plywood plant, they will be shifting some production, some of that timber consumption will move to the remaining 2 mills in Evergreen. It will, to some extent, reduce a little bit of that pressure, that shortage, because there'll be fewer buyers of logs than there were.
According to Morgan, the Montana timber industry bottomed out in 2009, but current cuts are causing the industry to dip precipitously close to that all-time low. A former editor for the Missoula newspaper has dropped her lawsuit, claiming she was wrongfully discharged by the newspaper. Sherry Devlin had alleged the newspaper's publisher and parent company Lee Enterprises demoted her, cut her pay, and hired a younger and less qualified man to replace her. The Missoulian reported Friday the publisher Mark Heinzelman and Devlin attorney Eric Henkel declined to comment on whether the sides had agreed to an out-of-court settlement. Missoula County Attorney's Office was exceptionally busy last week. In fact, it may have set a county record with 24 cases in just 7 days. County Attorney Kirsten Pabst explains.
We opened 24 new cases over the past 7 days, which is really on the high end. 3 of those were partner family member assault cases. There was a felony DUI, aggravated animal cruelty. We had 5 fugitives from justice, which is a really high number. Normally, we usually have 1 or 2.
There was also a spike in burglary cases.
There were 4 burglaries, which is a really high number. A case involving unauthorized burning. The woman actually had a burning permit, and the allegation is that she was burning beyond what's allowed in the permit. And then we had the sexual intercourse without consent and a failure to register as a violent offender, some other miscellaneous things.
Not all the cases handled last week involved the suspect in custody or even felony charges, but many feel the heavy traffic at the county attorney's office seems to indicate there may be an uptick in crime in Missoula. The vote Thursday by the United Kingdom to leave the European Union rocked financial markets worldwide and is affecting every investor, large and small. Spoke with Bob Seidenschwartz, a financial counselor with Edward G. Long, on Friday. That appears often on the KGVO radio talkback show. Seidenschwartz said the one thing markets hate is uncertainty.
Nobody knows what's going to happen. There's so many different parts of this vote in terms of its implications and what is yet to play out. But just to give you an example, the pound, the British pound, of which the Brits have never been tied to the euro, is down considerably. European banking stock got hit very hard.
Seidenschwartz makes it a point not to try to give specific financial advice on the radio, preferring listeners to contact their own personal financial counselors. But he did provide some general principles in times of financial stress.
This is a case where if you make a move and get out, you may avoid some continued downside. But here's the problem. When these things happen, the snapback can be also just as quick and violent. And if you're not in the game, then you're going to have taken those losses, and then you're not there, of course, to benefit when things come back.
On Friday, the Dow closed down over 600 points. The S&P 500 was down 75, and the NASDAQ down over 200 points. Well, Saturday night, Town Square Media Missoula took home 4 E.B. Craney Awards at the annual Montana Broadcasters Association convention at Big Sky. The awards included Best Radio Station Website, that's 96.3 The Blaze with Angel and Casey. Kiss FM took second. KGVO won Best Newscast of the Year. Radio Program of the Year was Talkback, the morning show. And then with the morning show with Billy and Shireen on Kiss FM took second place. Radio News Story of the Year belonged to John King. How about that? Proud. News Talk time now, 6:13.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Sunshine and summer-like weather with our high temperatures topping out right around the 90-degree mark. Overnight lows will stay fairly mild in the mid to low 50s. We will bring in a couple of clouds and an isolated thunder threat by Thursday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.